As a health expert, I'm shocked. This drink triggers reflux instantly. You know that burning sensation that ruins your entire day? That acid creeping up your throat when you least expect it? Well, what if I told you that the very drink sitting in your kitchen right now, the one you probably had this morning, could be the hidden culprit behind your worst reflux episodes? In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal something that completely shocked me as a health professional, and it might just change everything you thought you knew about managing your acid reflux. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover could be the missing piece in your journey to finally getting relief from that miserable heartburn. Let me start by asking you something really important. Have you ever noticed that your reflux seems worse on certain days, even when you're eating the exact same foods? Maybe you've been blaming that tomato sauce or those spicy tacos. But what if the real troublemaker has been hiding in plain sight all along? I'm talking about something so common, so seemingly innocent, that millions of Americans over 50 are consuming it every single day without realizing the damage it's causing to their esophagus. And here's the thing that really gets me. Most doctors don't even think to ask about this particular beverage when they're treating reflux patients. Can you believe that? We're talking about something that could literally be the difference between suffering through another sleepless night propped up on 3 pillows and finally getting the peaceful rest your body desperately needs. Now, before I reveal exactly what this drink is, let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening inside your body. When you take that first sip, you see, your stomach has this amazing little valve called the lower esophageal sphincter. Think of it like a one-way door that's supposed to keep all that stomach acid where it belongs. But this particular beverage, it's like sending a wrecking ball straight to that door, weakening it almost immediately. Have you ever wondered why sometimes your reflux kicks in within minutes of finishing your morning routine? This could be exactly why. The fascinating part is that this drink doesn't just affect your stomach. It actually changes the entire chemistry of your digestive system. It increases acid production while simultaneously relaxing the crucial valve I mentioned earlier. It's like opening the floodgates while turning up the water pressure at the same time. No wonder so many people struggle with controlling their symptoms. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I only have a little bit, let me stop you right there. Research shows that even small amounts can trigger significant reflux episodes in sensitive individuals. Are you one of those sensitive individuals? There's a good chance you might be, especially if you've been dealing with heartburn for years. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably going through your mental list of beverages right now, trying to figure out which one I'm talking about. Is it orange juice with all that citric acid? Maybe it's that glass of wine you enjoy with dinner. Or could it be something else entirely? Well, here's where things get really interesting. The drink I'm about to reveal is something that over 70% of adults consume regularly. And for many of you watching, it might be the very first thing that touches your lips each morning. Can you imagine starting every single day by essentially pouring gasoline on the fire of your acid reflux? That's exactly what millions of people are unknowingly doing. But here's what really frustrates me as someone who spent years studying digestive health. This information isn't new. Scientists have known about this connection for decades, yet somehow it never seems to make it into those generic diet sheets doctors hand out. Why is that? Could it be because this beverage is so deeply ingrained in our culture that nobody wants to be the bearer of bad news? Think about your own morning routine for a second. What's the first thing you reach for when you wake up? For many folks in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, it's become such an automatic habit that they don't even think about it anymore. But what if that one simple habit is sabotaging all your other efforts to control your reflux? What if all those antacids you're popping throughout the day are just barely keeping up with the damage this one drink is causing? The truth is, when I first discovered this connection in my own practice, I was skeptical too. How could something so commonplace be such a major trigger? But then I started asking my patients to track their symptoms alongside their beverage consumption, and the patterns were impossible to ignore. Patient after patient would come back with the same revelation. Their worst reflux days coincided perfectly with their consumption of this particular drink. One gentleman, 72 years old, had been suffering from severe nighttime reflux for over a decade. He tried everything: prescription medications, raising the head of his bed, avoiding late-night meals. Nothing seemed to work consistently. But when he eliminated this one beverage from his daily routine, his symptoms improved by nearly 80% within just 2 weeks. Can you imagine living with that kind of discomfort for 10 years? Only to find out the solution was that simple. So what exactly is this mysterious troublemaker? I'm talking about coffee. Yes, that beloved morning cup of joe that so many of us can't imagine living without. Now, before you close this video in protest, hear me out. I'm not here to demonize coffee or tell you that you can never enjoy it again. But if you're serious about managing your reflux, you need to understand exactly what coffee does to your digestive system and why it might be your worst enemy. Coffee contains multiple compounds that can trigger reflux. First, there's the caffeine, which relaxes that lower esophageal sphincter I mentioned earlier. Then there's the natural acids in coffee, chlorogenic acid, quinic acid, citric acid, all of which can irritate an already sensitive esophagus. But here's the kicker, even decaf coffee can trigger reflux. That's because it's not just about the caffeine. The roasting process creates compounds that stimulate acid production regardless of caffeine content. Have you ever noticed that some days your coffee seems to bother you more than others? That might have to do with how you're drinking it. Black coffee on an empty stomach is practically guaranteed to trigger reflux in sensitive individuals. The concentration of acids hitting your stomach lining without any food buffer is like throwing a match into a puddle of gasoline. But even adding milk or cream doesn't completely solve the problem. In fact, for some people, dairy can make reflux worse. Now, let's talk about temperature for a moment. Do you prefer your coffee piping hot? That heat can actually make things worse by irritating the esophageal lining even more. Some of my patients have found that letting their coffee cool down slightly helps reduce symptoms, though it doesn't eliminate them entirely. But here's something that might surprise you. It's not just about that morning cup. Many people don't realize they're consuming coffee in other forms throughout the day. That afternoon iced coffee, the coffee-flavored ice cream after dinner. Even certain medications contain caffeine. Are you unknowingly feeding your reflux all day long without realizing it? The timing of your coffee consumption matters enormously too. Drinking coffee late in the day doesn't just affect your sleep, it can trigger nighttime reflux. That has you reaching for antacids at 2 in the morning. And if you're someone who likes to lie down for a nap after lunch with coffee still in your system, you're basically inviting acid to flow back up into your esophagus. But wait, there's more to this story. Coffee also affects your body's ability to absorb certain nutrients, particularly iron and calcium. For folks over 50, this is especially concerning because you're already at higher risk for deficiencies in these crucial minerals. Could your daily coffee habit be contributing to other health issues you haven't even connected yet? Now, I can almost hear some of you saying, but I've been drinking coffee for 40 years without problems. And you know what? You might be right. Not everyone who drinks coffee will develop reflux. But if you're watching this video, chances are you're already dealing with symptoms. The question you need to ask yourself is that morning cup worth the discomfort you're experiencing? Is it worth the potential long-term damage to your esophagus? Let me share something that might motivate you to reconsider your relationship with coffee. Chronic acid reflux doesn't just cause temporary discomfort. Over time, that constant acid exposure can lead to something called Barrett's esophagus, where the lining of your esophagus actually changes at the cellular level. This condition increases your risk of developing esophageal cancer. Suddenly, that daily coffee doesn't seem quite as essential, does it? But here's the good news, and yes, there's good news. Many of my patients have successfully reduced or eliminated their coffee consumption and seen dramatic improvements in their reflux symptoms. Some have switched to herbal teas. Others have found coffee alternatives made from chicory or dandelion root. The key is finding something that satisfies that morning ritual without triggering your symptoms. Have you ever tried going without coffee for just 1 week to see how your body responds? If you're hesitant to give up coffee completely, let's talk about harm reduction strategies. Some people find that switching to low-acid coffee varieties helps. Others do better with cold brew, which tends to be less acidic than hot brewed coffee. Eating a substantial breakfast before having coffee can also provide a buffer. But honestly, the best results I've seen come from patients who've eliminated coffee entirely, at least temporarily, to give their digestive system a chance to heal. Here's something else to consider. Coffee is often just one piece of the reflux puzzle. While you're examining your coffee habit, why not look at your entire morning routine? Are you rushing through breakfast, eating on the go, stress eating? All of these behaviors can compound the effects of coffee on your digestive system. What would happen if you completely reimagined your mornings with reflux relief in mind? I want you to think about this. How much money are you spending on antacids, prescription medications, and doctor visits for your reflux? Now compare that to the cost of simply eliminating or reducing coffee. Sometimes the most effective solutions are also the simplest and most economical. Isn't it worth trying? As we're getting close to wrapping up here, I want to leave you with this thought. Your body is constantly sending you signals about what's working and what isn't. That burning sensation after your morning coffee, that's your body screaming for help. The question is, are you listening? Or are you so attached to that daily habit that you're willing to suffer the consequences? Look, I get it. Coffee is more than just a beverage for many people. It's a comfort, a ritual, a social experience. But your health has to come first. And the beautiful thing is, once you break free from the coffee cycle and your reflux symptoms improve, you'll wonder why you didn't make this change sooner. Many of my patients report better sleep, more stable energy throughout the day, and of course, significantly less heartburn and acid reflux. If you've made it this far in the video, you're clearly serious about finding solutions for your reflux. So here's what I want you to do. First, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss our upcoming videos about natural reflux remedies that actually work. Second, I want you to comment below with the answer to this question. What time of day does your reflux tend to be worst? Your answer might help others recognize patterns in their own symptoms. And if this information has been eye-opening for you, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps other reflux sufferers find this content. Finally, check out the video appearing on your screen right now about the 5 foods that can actually help heal your esophagus naturally. Trust me, after learning what to avoid, you'll want to know what to add to your diet for relief. Remember, taking control of your reflux starts with understanding your triggers, and you've just taken a huge step in the right direction today.